Welcome, everyone. It's Hollywood on the Rocks. I am Chris Gore. Late on a Wednesday. My apologies. I have a very good reason we'll discuss when the show starts. I'm so happy you're here with us today. That's going to be lots to talk about. So let's just get started, right? Let me get started. Alan's here. He's waiting in the wings. Let's get this show rolling. It's Hollywood on the Rocks. Remember, every time we talk about movies, just take a sip of whatever your preferred beverage is. Apologies for being late today. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Alan, you're here.
I'm here.
Alan, you're here. There's a lot of people in the chat. My apologies for being a little bit late today. I went to the doctor. Just a real quick. Not anything serious. I had to go to two different places. I got my foot x-rayed because I may have broken it, and I've been sort of dealing with it. It's like, my foot hurts, whatever. You know, I sprained it. What might be broken? Who knows? I've got an award show this weekend, and we're just gonna do it anyways.
As you go, this is a great week to break your foot.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look, it's like the heel portion. Tendon, who knows? It's not serious because what am I doing? I'm talking to you. It's just don't ask me to run a mile. I'm not going to be able to do that. Alan, how are you doing? What's going on?
Yeah, just busy. I'm getting prepped for award this. We got a lot of stuff going on. Got a lot of movies too that we're reviewing, and weirdly, we got a lot of indie films coming up, but we're pretty sparse when it comes to the big studio stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, Top Gun is coming out. We've got Jurassic Park coming out.
All next month.
That's right. Bob's Burger opens Memorial Day weekend, and I'll be talking about that today because I saw it last night. I've never seen an episode of the television show, so I went in completely cold. So, but let's see who's in the chat on a Wednesday night for our Hollywood on the Rocks. Let's see who's here before I just tell you all the stuff I tell you every episode. Jeff Brooks is here. Could not find any notification. Also, I searched Film Threat Live and only older uploads popped up on search results. Unbelievable. Tell people to click your subscriptions tab if you're on the phone app. Okay, Jeff Brooks, thank you for that. So click that little notification button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Also, Chicago Box says, I'm watching The Northman right now, so I'm not going to be able to mod right now. I'll try to keep an eye on the chat, but it's going to be spotty. At me if you really need me. Chicago Box, I think we're good. Also, I bought The Northman as well. It's available on digital and 4K. Yeah, it's out. I
thought he was in the theater watching it.
No, it's still in theaters, but it's also, they do this sort of shortened window. So I bought it because there's a ton of extras when you buy, and this is the digital version of The Northman, which is fantastic. Let's see who else is here. A lot of people. Good. Please star those comments. Yeah. I see Super Ammo, Solomon Thornton, ahoy matey. Hi Chris says HVP, Hail Film Threat says DM Foe. And who else is here? I'm going to all the, thank you for starring the comments there.
Film Philosopher is here.
The Film Philosopher, 2 minutes of Gore of Chris snore time. Exactly. That's are we talking about RRR again? Yes.
Oh, we are.
It's our first. Let's get right into it. I'm going to get to your comments and in this, but I have a bunch of things to go over, and let's just jump right in. Oh, and one, we are monetized. I think you can send super chats. I'm not sure. If someone wants to test it, I'm going to drop everything we're doing to get to that super chat, but it looks like we're back. It was a paperwork issue. I blame myself, but yeah, RMFX. We're talking about RRR, and let's actually do that right now. Let me share a story. I'm going to share a link, Alan. I'm going to send you the link in the private chat.
Okay.
If you would, where is this? Okay, here we go.
Oops.
And they're using the hashtag. The hashtag is hashtag encore, but with 3 R's. So yes, the Film Philosopher says RR needs its own channel. Well, there's the channel that that you can subscribe to the company that made the movie, the production company. But I'm going to bring this up because we're going to do a special episode after this. June 1st, RRR is coming back to theaters. It's only 100 screens. It's all across the United States. Let me get this link. I'm going to put it in the chat right now, and I'm going to send it to Alan, who's going to put it in the description for this show. Get your tickets. Get your tickets. It's coming back for one night, one screening only. I'm seeing it at 7 p.m. If you want to be at the same screening I'm at, it's at the Lemley 7 in Pasadena, which is, I might even just walk to it. So I'm seeing the 7 p.m. show at the Lemley 7 in Pasadena. Join me there. Meet you in the courtyard. We'll hang out. There's a great bookstore next door to that theater. And if this is your opportunity to see RRR, you go to this website. Wait, did I put it in the comments?
No, you haven't sent it to me yet.
Oh, I haven't sent it to you yet. Okay. RRR out on digital. I have looked, no date set yet, but I could look again. Just watch app.
Oh, you put it in the chat, so I
put it in the chat. Let me give it to you in the private chat.
Yeah, because I can't copy it from the chat.
Okay, cool. There you go.
Hey,
so there we go. All right, so get your tickets. I've been screaming about this movie. I'm tired of the only person I can talk to about this film is Alan. Imagine what I have to go through. I want to talk about it with you. So it's in theaters June 1st. And also, by the way, never talked to anyone from that. This is just like when I'm excited about something, I just want to share in the conversation, share in the admiration for this film, because Hollywood wishes they could make a movie like this. They're just not capable at this time. I just feel like with so much garbage coming out in Hollywood, please check this movie out. So go to the website, grab your tickets. If you want to see it with me, I'll be at the Lemley 7 in Pasadena for the 7 p.m. show on June 1st. So go check that out. Bunch of other things to discuss. Before we do that, Alan, I want to remind people that our award show is this weekend. This is your last chance to get tickets. Last chance to get tickets to Award This. Alan and I are going to be there. It's at the Frida Cinema. It's Saturday, May 21st, 6 p.m. Be there. You can get tickets. Go to awardthis.com. You can also get them at the Frida Cinema website. It's in Santa Ana, California. It is a party. There's going to be a pre-party, a red carpet. There'll be drinks. Everybody gets a gift bag after the show. Alan and I will be there. A lot of the people who work at Film Threat. My comedian friend Yoshi Obayashi is going to be there.
Oh.
We have a lot of other special guests. They're going to pop in. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's really a lot of independent filmmakers. We have 73 individual movies that are nominated. It's not a stuffy award show. It's an award show with a sense of humor. So we've been working on videos for the past several weeks. I'm very excited to show them to you. Maybe I can even share a little glimpse of one. Should I share a little glimpse of one? Here, hang on. I'm gonna see if I can. Wait, I know. I'm gonna see if I can share a little glimpse.
Are you juggling way too many things right now?
I'm juggling too many things right now.
Yeah.
But let's see. You know what? I'm gonna save it as a surprise. You have to watch the show. You have to watch the show. But I'll show you. I'll just give you a little taste of our guy here. His name is Visifus, and he's actually our award.
Oh, hey. Oscars, huh? Oscars can suck it! I don't even have a penis.
So there's stuff like that. Indie filmmakers of all types. You'll get like little tastes of each of these movies. And if you can't make it, hey, you can watch it on YouTube. So there you go. And all the regular plugs, Film Thread on everything, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Okay, let's get that. Now we've gotten that out of the way. Let's talk about She-Hulk.
Oh, we're here.
Attorney at Law. Or some people were saying Attorney at Law. It's described as a comedy series in the vein of a law. It's sort of like a legal procedural with a superhero. If you have not seen the trailer yet, I guess, I guess this is where we're going to do our little reaction. Is this what we're going to do, Alan?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have been good about staying offline when it dropped because I feel the hate coming, and I personally don't want to get involved in it, so to speak, or get caught up in it. There's a lot to dislike about this, but I'm not at the hate level that I feel a lot of people are at.
All right. Well, let's see. I am going to, first of all, I got to search for the trailer now so we can.
Oh no, we're not showing the trailer, are we?
Should we?
Just got monetized.
Oh, okay. Maybe we. Okay. Has everybody seen the trailer? I mean, we can do a trailer reaction, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
All right.
We can do a
Maybe
trailer.
keep the volume really down or off.
Well, I'll pause it a bunch. First of all, I have to find the official trailer. Okay. Wait, there's the trailer from Indonesia. Should we see it in another language?
That's a great way to get us really banned off.
Okay, wait. All right, just let's.
We're here to make money. We gotta keep this monetized.
What? Okay. All right.
I'm just saying.
Here we go.
Good. Let's not be allergic to money.
Paulie's here. Trailer reaction. Let's go. Okay, here we're gonna do it.
Let's just talk.
We're gonna do it. Thanks, Paulie. I think Paulie. Not sure yet. There's a poll on his channel. Go to Latino Slant right now. Paulie put up a poll because he has an opportunity to buy my extra ticket to go to Star Wars Celebration. And if he put up a thing saying, should I go and do coverage or should I not go? Of course you should go. So everybody go over to his channel, maybe on your device. Keep watching this. And just vote yes, because Paulie, I voted yes. So there you go. All right, let's watch this trailer now. Alan, I don't know. What?
You got monetized again.
All right. Well, look.
No, yeah. I mean,
are you afraid we're gonna get demonetized?
Well, no. This is this is gonna get a copyright claim, and then we're gonna make no money off of this.
We'll just keep. We'll let's do an experiment. I hear Disney doesn't do that. I hear Disney.
I know. Fox used to be really vigilant about this stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're just gonna watch it, and I'll pause it, and we'll talk over it. All right. You ready? Right. Here we go.
Maybe keep the volume down.
Being a superhero is a trial by fire. Who's gonna protect the world if it's not people like you?
All right, here she is. She's coming. Right. Oh no! All right.
Now I got to say, when they first announced Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk, the first thing in my mind was, isn't she way too short or way too small to be?
Well, I think that's part of the thing is she's small, and then when she becomes She-Hulk, she's large.
Yeah,
look, my familiarity with She-Hulk is more from the Fantastic Four comics when she replaced Ben Grimm for a time. It was a great run, and it was funny. She was sexy, had a sense of humor.
Yeah, I'll tell you I had 3 comic books that I started collecting when I was a child. It was X-Men, Rom, and She-Hulk. And so I'm very familiar with at least maybe the first 50 issues of She-Hulk.
I always liked She-Hulk. I don't know.
I did too.
She-Hulk was fun.
I did too.
And you had Rom Space Knight? Wait, you had Rom Space Knight, the comic?
Yes, I still have Rom Space Knight.
Oh my God. All right, we're going to do a thing. We're going to play a new game where we just show each other's like cool collectibles. Because I have something here. I was like, oh my God, I forgot I had this. I'm going to show it to everybody in a bit, but let's keep going.
I'm Jennifer Walters. I'm a lawyer. I have great friends. Can we get some shots, please? It's an emergency. Demanding job.
Wait, I think they're going for mimosas after this. Is that the one thing I commented on? It's they say write what you know, and there's a lot of meetings in here. There's a lot of meetings in this trailer. And
I feel like,
sorry, what? Yeah.
No, I'm saying I'm starting to think Sex in the City and Marvel Studios. Maybe with a little.
Whereas some people are calling it Shrek in the City. That's what they're calling it.
We just started a superhuman audition, and I want you to be the face of it.
And a frustrating family.
Cause speeding ass.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
It's Chris who's echoing. I think you're echoing.
I'm echoing. Oh, are
Yeah,
they saying
I think maybe the trailer is a little bit off for some reason. That's why we're getting a
Oh shoot! Lower volume. Okay.
lower
My
volume.
apologies, folks. My apologies. I'm going to lower that volume. I'm going to lower it. All right.
Yeah, you got the closed caption.
Oh, we got the closed caption. Yeah. So we can talk over it even.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, she's very tiny in this shot here.
I hate that line. It's so cringe. I mean, the thing I like about oh my god. See, the thing I like about She-Hulk in the comics is she seemed fun and well adjusted and didn't really have like having said that, one of the cool things about Marvel Comics was always that the characters in the comics always had everyday problems. Like everyday problems that anyone has. Peter Parker in particular, Spider-Man having like being probably the best example of like, I got to deal with being a kid in school and trying to hold down a side job. And then I'm also Spider-Man. Like that's what makes Spider-Man so endearing.
Yeah. Well, the thing about She-Hulk is, early on she was in the car accident. That's where she got transfusion from her cousin Bruce. She becomes She-Hulk. But in that accident, her father is killed. It's also a mob kind of hit.
Right.
And so a lot of the early issues were her getting revenge for her father's death, which you don't get any sense of that here.
No, you don't get any sense of it. She even like makes a joke at the end. Well, you'll see. She makes a joke at the end about orphans, narcissists, and orphans. Here we go.
A normal, anonymous lawyer.
Can you tell us where She-Hulk is? Jen, you're a story.
Oh no.
Girl, your ass looks crazy right now.
I mean, I'm not
Okay.
bothered
On that note, I do think, but this is the consistent complaint I've heard from everybody is the CG does not look very good.
I'm okay with it.
The CG does not look very good. Having said that, it's just like, I just feel like this looks fun. Probably not for me. If my girlfriend said, hey, we're going to watch She-Hulk tonight, I'd be like, I don't hate, whatever. I'll watch it with you. But I don't know if this is something that I would personally care much.
Yeah, there's a lot of Fiona comments, which I see. It's
right.
There's a Fiona vibe here.
From Shrek?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh.
You could be an Avenger.
Oh, I'm not a superhero.
Wait, the Avengers are not even a thing. And Abomination is there. Isn't the last time we saw Abomination like with Wong?
Yeah, he was with Wong. He was also why can't I remember the original Hulk, Edward Norton. He was in that one.
Okay, all right, hang on.
So it's Tim Roth. Tim Roth is back.
Millionaires and narcissists and adult orphans for some reason.
I think you do see Tim Roth somewhere here.
Is there anything more depressing than dating in your
Oh my God.
This is the best date I've had in a while.
Oh.
Should we split some fries?
Let's get those to go.
It just, they haven't perfected it. They haven't, look, let's be honest, they have not perfected that CG. They just haven't.
Well, also because it's television, I think the budget is a lot smaller for CG and
right.
And because you're doing, what, six, 8 episodes?
Yeah, I think part of it is, I was talking about this earlier on Gary Beekler's Nerdrotic Nooner. I think part of it is they realize this isn't going to be in movie theaters, right? So the level of the quality of CG is not going to be of a higher caliber. It's like, look, most people are going to watch this at home on their TVs. Not everybody has a 4K TV. And not only that, some kids are going to watch it on their phones or iPads. So I really feel like they've just said, look, for all the Disney Plus stuff, if it's only ever going there, boom, shrink it. That's why when you look at like cinema quality digital effects, although I will say Doctor Strange 2 had varying levels of quality of effects. But this looks like it's cheaper. I think most people agree. What is everybody saying?
Yeah. Well, I'll say that Moon Knight had the same issue in terms of the money. And then Ms. Marvel, just the fact that they couldn't replicate her original powers from the comics says a lot about their CG abilities at this moment.
Right. Let's go to the comments here. Solomon Thornton says it looks like a CW show. I don't disagree. What is the dog coming in?
The dog's
breaking the illusion, Alan.
I know. Get out of there.
Liam in Wales. This is what I said earlier. I wish they used 2 actors, just get a big strong girl, or at least they could have used an actor and maybe sort of deep faked her face on there. Like this is like, I don't know. I'm sure you watched the, Bill Bixby, the Incredible Hulk show in the 70s. I love that show. It's tragic. It's weird that they changed his name from Bruce to David Banner because they thought Bruce made him sound like he was gay. That's how stupid television was at the time, even though you had like Bruce Wayne on television, played by Adam West. But yeah, I wish they used 2 actors. Like that's what was cool. I mean, Lou Ferrigno is a real person, and I've even met him. I met him at conventions. I have met him at the comic book conventions, and he's a cool dude. But it was great. Like he turned into him, and he's got that cheesy wig and the green, and it was like, it's not like he was doing like crazy Hulk stuff. Like it's like, I'm gonna stop a truck. It was always like saving somebody and whatnot. But yeah, I really do wish that they used 2 actors. The Alex Zorba, the ending is cringe-alicious. Yeah, Spider Geronimo, that guy is going to be in the hospital for months after sleeping with her. I don't even want to like think about. I don't want to think about it. Let's move on. Agent Zero, Tim Roth's just paying the bills. The Film Philosopher, good to see you here. Most people are going to watch the Pornhub version. Wait a sec, is there a Pornhub version?
There's going to be if it's not there.
Well, look, the work of Axel Braun deserves whatever. I'm sure he wins awards at the AVNs, right? Like, but Axel Braun does all those like parodies, but he puts so much effort into it. I saw one of the ones he did of Batman. It was way too authentic, and it was kind of like I couldn't watch it. And it was the Adam West Batman, and the Burt Ward Robin, and it's an adult film, and I was like, I can't. It's because it was way too accurate. Axel Braun. There you go. That's not Star Trek. I came for Star Trek. We're getting to Star Trek.
Yeah, we'll get to Star Trek.
We did a little news at the top. We're talking about the She-Hulk trailer because it's dropped. We're going to be talking about Strange New Worlds next. Ryan,
so you want me to tell you why this trailer doesn't work?
Why?
Okay, this is my issue with the trailer. I have no sense of story. I don't know. All I see is it's like a character sheet of She-Hulk. I just see her. She's kick-ass. She's Tatiana Maslany. She's got an attitude. She's with Mark Ruffalo. But why do I care about wanting to see this series? What is the story here that I'm supposed to latch onto? The assumption is right now, and this is the problem Disney has, is that they just assume by putting Moon Knight out there or She-Hulk out there that we're going to watch it anyways. But what they really need to do is say, this is Jessica Walter's story, and this is why you need to watch it. This is why you need to watch this series, and this is how you get past the look of the She-Hulk, the bad graphics, the weird story, the uneven characterization here. If you told us what this was about, then you're gonna get more of us to get on board than with this trailer.
Well, it's almost like it's a show specifically made for people who like procedural legal dramas that are more lighthearted, like Ally McBeal, right? Like that kind of show. It looks like Ally McBeal. And if Ally McBeal, that's pretty much, I'm sure, what the pitch was. It does look,
but that's not a story. That's right. It's a pitch. It's She-Hulk meets Ally McBeal, or and so what? It's a good idea. We see the idea here, but why should I invest after seeing Moon Knight and after seeing Loki and all the others? Why do I care about wanting to invest time in this story? Because I don't know what the story is.
Well, we'll see. Ryan Landis says, well, hopefully She-Hulk will be in the show a lot unlike Moon Knight. Yeah, no, Moon Knight. I'm so glad I checked out of Moon Knight. I watched the first episode and then didn't bother. And my main reason is it just didn't grab me. And then what I heard from everybody is he's in it like 6 minutes in 6 episodes. Patrick Lemire says the problem is later you're going to be lost in a Marvel movie and they'll say, oh, that was covered in She-Hulk. See, that's also sort of my reluctance is I don't want to have to watch everything. Like, I don't want to just the movies should be the movies. I don't need to. That's what was cool about Star Wars, at least back in the day. I got to get the Star Wars reference in, Alan. Star Wars back in the day is just like the movies were movies. The movies were the one things I cared about. The comic books and the novels, although I love Heir to the Empire, I think that should have been the Star Wars sequels. I didn't have to know everything. So, and my fears with all this Marvel stuff is like, you have to have watched everything to really, truly appreciate it. So there you go. Flaccid Phoenix is here. And Flaccid, I'm sorry, we would have gotten you a link. Flaccid is helping us out. You can thank Flaccid Phoenix for the brilliant graphics and thumbnails. And when, Alan he's not in space. He's not. It's just a curtain. Solomon Thorne, I am a fan of the She-Hulk comic books. This trailer is such cringe. Wish it had that 70s Hulk show vibe. Yeah, just like something, add a little bit more tragic to it. It looks a little bit more like you can have lighthearted moments. This looks all lighthearted. And it's just really not so much for me.
Well, and the other thing is, you bring up, so what? She's a Hulk. She's a She-Hulk. What is her deal? This is part of the story, but also, I don't get a sense that there's a fatal flaw here. I think the appeal of the Hulk was that Bruce Banner, every time he got angry or was in fear, he turned into the Hulk. Right. She's just kind of a girl with superpowers. She's basically Captain Marvel at this moment.
Right.
She has this power and she's just going to go out and use it. So that's bad characterization.
One on the positive side, one thing I'll say is that actress who plays her is likable.
Yes.
Like she's likable. I've never found Brie Larson to be particularly likable. So she's likable. That could save the show. No, we're gonna go through some more of these comments here that Alan is starring the comments. Thank you, Alan, for that. Solomon Thorne, I'm a fan of I think I already read that one. Cheers, Chris and Alan. Yeah, of course. Ally McBeal had an amazing cast with interesting, fun B characters, plus a dancing baby. I'm not seeing any of that here besides the lawyer similarities, says War Monkey. Well, we'll see. Daniel, because Disney is so unprofessional, the pitches are all that matters. Maybe. Experts agree. Not only do we need to know Jennifer Walters' story, but also how her story fits into the large Marvel Cinematic Universe. My guess is it just doesn't.
Well, she's Bruce's cousin.
Oh yeah, that's the connection. The film philosopher, and then she gets her powers from a blood transfusion. The film philosopher, I just realized that's happened is now they're just doing mashups of every genre, but inserting superheroes. Well, at this point, yeah, because I feel like there is a superhero movie fatigue. So these movies aren't superhero stories. They're other stories, but with a superhero in them. So this seems to be, I'm only going by the trailer, seems to be a legal procedural with a superhero in it. So there you go. And smash that like button like Paulie from Latino Slant was saying. Film philosopher studios are just pumping out content now, regardless of the actual content. Akanika, hey, good to see you here. She-Hulk will be fighting coffee conversations. The Lone Gunman, Marvel would be better off limiting content to maybe 2 shows a year, focus both writing and budget, maximize the product's potential. Stone Cold, I just think it's too much. I think it's just like there's too much Marvel, and when it was 2 movies a year, that was an event. And now there's never not going to be something that's just around the corner, right? There's Ms. Marvel, then there's this, and then there's another, Thor Love and Thunder. Like, when is there not going to be a Marvel thing on? Whereas, before we really look forward to it.
Yeah. The other thing is they've used up all the good characters at the moment.
Right.
I mean, who outside of the original Avengers and the X-Men and Fantastic Four, all they're doing is bringing us a lot of these side characters. And the problem is I don't, Guardians of the Galaxy were side characters, but at least they treated it right. At least they got good writing behind it.
Good writing.
They're not doing that with these.
Yeah. Stone Cold's beer cooler. I swear to God, if they show or mention She-Hulk is a better lawyer than Daredevil, I will fight Kevin Feige. Oh, there you go. I don't know. You can get tragic with this show. She's choosing to become She-Hulk. So can you do tragedy with buyer's remorse? Maybe they've changed the origin, obviously, but we'll see. The film philosopher, everything by Disney is going to have the shiny, happy people vibe. Here's one that this is a side note, because I'm a longtime reader of the Fantastic Four comic. Will Ben Grimm have a cigar? Prediction: he will not. It is policy in Disney movies to not show characters smoking.
No, here's my thing. If
no smoke,
they should give him a cigar and thereby make it the first Marvel rated R movie.
That would be nice. Daniel, Alan made a great point about how shallow the trailer is, but all of Disney is shallow now. Wait, Daniel, let me focus on one thing. Alan made a great point. When did that happen?
It happens every week.
Patrick Lemire says Brie is so unlikable she could be cast as Amber Heard in the Johnny Depp biopic. Oh my God! First of all, that's actually great casting. That's really good casting. I've been kind of
you could win an Academy Award for that one.
I've been watching the highlights of the trial. Nick Rekieta is the one guiding me. So shout out to Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law if you don't already subscribe to his channel. Akanika, why didn't they have a scene where Bruce saved her life with a transfusion? I don't know. I mean, we'll see if that's actually part of her origin.
I mean, that goes to my point. Is it's probably in the series. That's probably how she gets her powers. The problem is this trailer is a character. It's a character sheet basically, and this what emotionally is there that we want to connect with this character, and it's just not there in the trailer.
Yeah, Geek Truth 64. They will probably give Ben Grimm a vape. Yeah, it happens. It's I don't even think he's gonna have a vape. I just think he's not gonna smoke. So Flaccid Phoenix, would you lose respect if the Thing had a vape? Yeah, vapes. Yeah, and film philosopher. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. I actually dressed as Ben Grimm, like a depowered Thing, once at Dragon Con, and I had a cigar, and I put a little 4, like Fantastic Four, like label around the fake cigar, which had a thing that looked like it was lit. I actually don't smoke and don't even like to be around cigarette smoke, but I had to have an accurate costume. Colt Seaman, which is he's gonna get banned now for saying comments like this. Alan always makes good points. I kid, Colt Seaman. I kid. And also, by the way, someone in the chat, not in a chat, in a comment, complained that my audio is not great. And just so you know, I am trying to improve my setup every week. And I just got one of these. I got a new microphone, but it did not have time to hook it up and test it. Maybe I'll get a chance to test it on Friday, but I've got the Blue Yeti thing. So that'll be hooked up. And we're trying to make improvements. Folks. So there you go. Let me get through these comments here. We'll get to Star Trek. We're going to get to Star Trek. I know Alan has a lot to say. Yeah. Phil E was all downhill TV-wise after the Daredevil show. There you go. Colt Seaman back with another comment. She-Hulk got her powers from an overdose of broccoli. First of all, I love broccoli. It's delicious. Broccoli always gets a bad name. Bad name, but let me just tell you something. I love broccoli. My mother, when I was a kid, tricked me into liking broccoli because she knew I was a fan of Godzilla. I loved Godzilla, the old school Toho Godzilla movies, right? Love those. And she would give me broccoli and say, "You're a monster. You're Godzilla. You're King Kong. Those are just little trees. You have to eat the trees because you're a monster." I have this weird memory, my mom telling me this. And to this day, I love broccoli. So if you want to trick your children into enjoying delicious broccoli with cheese, which is the best way to do it, that's one way of doing that. Jeff Brooks, good to see you here. Fantastic Four starring the kid from Iron Man 3. Member Iron Man kids? Oh, man, I don't know. I love Alan, says Patrick Lemire. Do you really? Do you love Alan? All right.
We all love Alan.
Well, Gore ASMR incoming. Nice, says Lagbait. Yeah, I'll film myself eating broccoli. And improvements only if Alan is allowed to. Daniel, there's too many Alan comments that are being starred. Who's starring all the comments? Yeah, look at this. Buford T. Justice with very good taste. I love broccoli. And a green bee. I'm sure that was on purpose. Okay, well, look, I am always the optimist on this stuff. It's like, I think that the problem with this is that CG looks bad. The CG looks bad for it. I think that maybe a different actor. Someone mentioned Gina Carano in the chat. I love her. I mean, she's not going to work for Disney ever again, but just, maybe Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey, there were all a bunch of fan-made pics of Ronda Rousey as Captain Marvel, which I think would have been awesome because you really believe that she's a badass because, well, she is. If you ever see her with the mixed martial arts, she's pretty damn good. Film philosopher Alan is starring his own comments. Come on, Alan.
You notice I did star that one, right?
Yes, you did. And Chris, when are you going to turn your super chats on? I thought they were on.
They're not.
Do we have to turn them on manually?
Unfortunately, I don't have access to our YouTube account on this computer. So.
Oh, you don't? All right.
I thought they were just on, but maybe
I thought they were just on. Do you have to manually turn them on?
We've been monetized for 2 days now, so
we've been monetized, so we're back to being monetized. But look, monetization, supers. It said, "Oh shoot, they're not on."
Oh,
they're on, and super thanks. There we go. Oh my God, you have to manually turn them on.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
of course.
So I don't know if that'll count on this video. It says super chats, super stickers, and super thanks are now enabled. I don't know if it works. You can try.
Yeah, you might have to, I don't know, refresh. I have no idea how it works.
That'll be working on Friday. We appreciate that you're on this journey with us to get better at YouTube because Alan and I are figuring this out. All right. So the super chats are on. If someone would like to test it, and also a quick reminder too, before we go to our Star Trek discussion, which is going to happen momentarily. And we'll talk about Bob's Burgers at the end, because I think I really want to talk about it, and maybe we could talk about it Friday. But I think we want to get to Star Trek. Refreshing worked, says Geek Truth 64. So there you go.
There you go.
Try the super chats. But let me get to one quick thing I wanted to remind people, and I want to read some of these. I got some. Where did this go? I got a couple letters. All right. I want to remind people that, do you like free stuff? I've always loved free stuff. Okay. So send thank you, Flaccid Phoenix, for $2. Says, refresh the stream. You can do it. Thank you, Flaccid Phoenix. Flaccid Phoenix is going to get, well, we'll talk after. There you go. Chris is all about
it. We got one more here.
Okay. Shillin' ain't easy. $1.99 from Billy D. Shilliams. Thank you, Billy D. That's awesome. Buford T. Justice for $19.99. They're working now. Thank you. As Anakin said, it's working. It's working. Remember when he started his pod racing? Okay. Thank you, Buford T. Justice. But here, I want to give you something for free. Send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Film Threat 5042 Wilshire Boulevard, PMB, that stands for Private Mailbox, 1500 Los Angeles, California, 90036. You know what I'm going to do? The more postage you put on it, if you send me a big envelope with lots of postage on it, I'll send you some DVDs. I'll send you DVDs. We have Film Threat. I just got these Film Threat bumper stickers. Alan, I'll show them to you. And also, if you come to award this on Saturday, you're going to get one of these. You're going to get one of these stickers. It's great. Get one of these stickers. I fold it up, throw it in the envelope. I got a couple letters here from Will Rue. Says, love Film Threat, respect and admire Chris for his piercing and often brutal analysis of Hollywood and movies. No mention of Alan. No mention of Alan. Chris offered some free stickers. Yeah, I'm the one reading your note. There you go. And then another one, to the most illustrious Chris and Alan. Actually says that. As instructed during your video this week, I've included myself. Okay, so there you go. And so I sent stickers to to these gentlemen, and you can get one too. So do that. And
Right.
and thank you. Fletcher Williams working now. $1.99 from Fletcher Williams. Working. It's working. Awesome. That's great.
And Phil.
Phil, who else? We have another
$5 from Phil. $5 super chat from Phil.
Oh my God. Okay. Agent Zero says boomer for $20. Thank you. Thank you, Agent Zero. Okay, good.
We're not quite boomers, but
here we
and
go. Phil,
Yep.
let's go. Can you highlight those, Alan? For some reason, my chats are frozen. I don't know why it's frozen.
All right. And then $2 from $2 super
Daniel,
chat.
more Alan Bell.
Yeah.
Alan,
Wow.
come on.
Oh, they're just rolling in here. Here we go.
Okay, wait, here we go. Jeff Brooks for $9.99 says, Chris, thoughts on the new Elvis biopic? Real quick, my thoughts, because you contributed $9.99 and we appreciate that. I think it looks pretty good. The actor who plays, there's two thoughts about it. One, it looks really good because the actor who plays, and God,
Elvis.
I forget the actor's name. Alan, you can if you can find that actor. Geez, the super chats are coming in.
Austin Butler.
Everybody. Yeah, so he is playing Fade Rotha in Dune Chapter 2. So I'm very excited. He looks great. He sounds just like Elvis. Two questions. One, do we need an Elvis movie now? Why now? Why are we doing an Elvis movie now? The second thing is Tom Hanks in a fat suit kind of just looks dumb. I don't know that it really works. It's sort of like, yeah, that's Tom Hanks. We know. And I don't know if it completely works for me. Colt Seaman for 20 says we need to call the police on J.J. Abrams for first degree on Star Trek and the writers of SNW, that's Strange New Worlds, and desecrating the corpse afterwards. Just despicable. And Broccoli is the GOAT. If you're a Broccoli fan, love that. Thank you, Colt Seaman, for 20. Did I miss the Alan Exposed video?
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Congratulations on 40K subs. Yes, but it is in the live stream from last week. I mean, I can show it again. I'll show it again at the end of the stream. But thank you for that, James Jennings. That's great. Snail mail is too dangerous. Paper cuts and all. Oh, come on, Ryan. You got to do it. Buford T. Justice for $9.99. Wow, another. Geez, is Hollywood really having a hard time finding VFX people? And if so, why? Yes, there is a shortage of people. This is true. Shortage of people in VFX currently. And it has become incredibly competitive to get people to work on these shows. So I don't know. What I really love about Sonic, remember when the first trailer for the first Sonic movie came out and it looked just terrible and they went back and redesigned it? I feel like they've got to do this with She-Hulk. It just doesn't, there's something about it that it just doesn't look real. I have a friend who works in VFX who's his whole job is just to have CG characters, when they touch something that's real, make it look like it has weight, shadow. That's all that person does, is when a CG character touches something in the real world, it looks authentic. So it's a whole team. And I just feel like it's a budgetary issue with Disney Plus. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, it is very expensive, and they are doing it for, basically it's two and a half movies.
Yeah.
As a budget wise. And so, they are taking shortcuts, and it is Disney. So you do know they are taking shortcuts.
Patrick Lemire, $2 testing. Well, Patrick,
it works.
It works. Thank you for that. This channel has almost 20 million views. That's awesome, says George Bonnie 90. Thank you for that. That's great. And then people on the Disney page were asking if that was an early animation. I think that's the final draft. Yeah, I don't know. And Patrick Lemire says it felt like 5,000 VFX were on DS2,
Doctor Strange, yeah.
Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness alone. Yeah, I don't know. Well, what's so funny is when you see like you got to sit through the end credits, which I always do. I love it. I sit through end credits of movies that don't have little button scenes because you never know what you're going to see. But it's almost like they should say, to download a PDF of the full credits, go to this website, because there are so many. You see these blocks and it's inscrutably small type. But yeah, Chris should watch Robert Meyer Burnett rant after Star Trek. Omar 94. I watch Robert all the time. I have known Robert Meyer Burnett since the 90s. Robert and I I started a magazine with a guy named Mark Altman called Sci-Fi Universe Magazine. We somehow and we did this magazine for years. It was sort of a sister publication to Film Threat, Sci-Fi Universe. You can look it up. And Robert Meyer Burnett was an editor at large, so he would write articles for Sci-Fi Universe magazine. And I've known Rob a very long time. He used to live just down the street from me in Pasadena, and now just moved to a new house. And there you go. Yes, I've watched him rant about. In fact, I do want to bring up one point that Rob brought up about Strange New Worlds that I thought was a very cool insight that I'll share with you. Another super chat from MM for $5. Where are these budgets going? She-Hulk is 25 mil per episode. It looks like bad. Amazon's Wheel of Time was 10 million per episode, and it looked like community theater. Well, Amazon's Wheel of Time looked like generic fantasy show. So there you go. Is here. Hey, by the way, for 99 cents super sticker. Thank you.
Thank you.
You've got to also contact me. I've got to ask you a question. Contact my email, or I think you have my email, or I'm going to, if you go to filmthreat.com/contact, reach out to me. I need to ask you something, and it's urgent. But is a part of Rob Burnett's Robservations channel. I think it's called The Geek. I think he changed the name of the channel.
Yeah, they did change it. I don't know what it is though.
But he's got some great shows there, so definitely sub. It's the Geek Singular. He always has these long. I'm the Viceroy of Versamillions. I can't do it. Rob he has a like Uhura. He has a talented tongue. That's what Captain Kirk would say. So there you go. And look. Is getting hails in the chat from Cameron Montiel. Is great on Rob's channel, so you have to watch. And she's also a guest on Midnight's Edge among other shows. Look, we should have her on here at some point.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Oh, it's the Post Geek Singularity.
Post Geek Singularity. Subscribe to Rob. There you go. Let's get into talking about Star Trek here, and I'm going to debut a new video here. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm boomering this. Oh my God, Buford T. Justice for $4.99. I agree with Jeff. The more I watch the Batman, the less I like it. Hate that Joker deleted scene. Yeah, it didn't work for me. It doesn't work. Free account. The thing about RMB is he doesn't seem to mind the desolation of any other franchise except for Star Trek. Yeah, I disagree with him on that. I think a lot of these franchises have become really kind of frustrating. So, but we'll get into that very shortly. 2 Rivers for £2, I think, or no, €2. Sorry, €2. Yeah. If the writing is good, we can forgive poor VFX. Look,
absolutely.
If the writing is good, look, I still like Logan's Run from 1976. In fact, I'm probably going to watch it tonight. Definitely going to watch it tonight. So let's get into our talk here with Strange New Worlds. I've got to figure out what's the best background I should use here.
I think you had it, the first one.
The first one you think is the best one? Is that what we're going with?
Because we're just covering faces here.
No, that's our. All right, let's just go to this.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about
Strange. Busy, but I probably the best one.
All right, well, let's do this. First of all, we're going to talk about Strange New Worlds. Now let's pivot to that. And this is Alan and I don't know. We're gonna go at it. We're gonna go at it. Everybody, prepare your comments and questions. Alan and I will talk about it, and then we're gonna get to the chats and all your super chats. I promise. And thank you so much. That was a flood of super chats. Before we get started, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and hit the bell for notifications. Now let's get into this. Our review of Strange New Worlds.
Are you ready for this, Alan? I really need you to be ready for this, Alan. Chris says you're ready. Hey, did you hear me? Are you listening? I'm only going to ask one more time. Are you freaking ready for the review?
I finally got one. I'm on one of those.
Yeah, so let's get right into it, Alan. A little bit of background, I think, for both of us. I'm an old school Star Trek fan. I love Star Trek, the original series. It was how I connected with my dad when I was a kid. We'd watch those shows, get into very deep philosophical discussions. My dad was also into NASA. I'm into NASA. I live fairly close to JPL. I've been on their tour. I love stories that take an idea, like what would happen in the world, in society, if this existed, and Star Trek explored ideas. The original series, Can Lightning Strike Twice? Next Generation came out, and it was slow going in the beginning. I think it took a while to get their sea legs, but once it got to season 3 of Star Trek The Next Generation, loved it. And it's different than the original series. And I'm a big fan of it. I watched it all through the 90s, and I loved Star Trek The Next Generation. The other series to me were diminishing returns. Voyager had some good stuff. Deep Space Nine, we'll talk about that later. But I'm just a lifelong Star Trek fan. Lifelong fan.
Yeah.
So Alan, where do you stand like in terms of like your Star Trek fandom?
Yeah, so I would say I'm not a big fan of the original. It was always on in the background at my grandparents' house, but I really didn't get on board until the first movie, and then the subsequent movies. And then when The Next Generation came aboard, I was fully on board. I've seen every episode of The Next Generation. During the second half of its run, I hung out with some friends, and that's all we did every Wednesday night was watch Star Trek. And then Deep Space Nine came out. I am a huge fan of Deep Space Nine. I absolutely love Deep Space Nine. And then I kind of fell off when Voyager came out. And then the subsequent ones, I've tried to watch a few episodes, but nothing ever really got me to latch back into Star Trek at that point.
Well, I'll always give a new Star Trek series a chance, right? And like my comic book knowledge sort of falls off when life kind of hits me. Once I started Discovered Girls as a teenager, I think that's where kind of like some of my comic book knowledge went kind of down, and then back up again later. So I kind of feel the same way with Star Trek, but I'll give a new series a chance. I watched the first 4 episodes of Star Trek Discovery, and I didn't get hooked. I did not. There was something about it. I don't know if it was. I mean, it's and I've heard a lot of people complain about it, and that's kind of what kept me away. Was just like, well, I don't want to subscribe to one subscription service just for one show. I mean, I did the trial version of Paramount Plus just to check it out, and was kind of underwhelmed. This has gotten me more interested because it's about the Enterprise, the Starship Enterprise, and there are familiar characters. Right, you've got Captain Pike, Spock, Uhura, number 1.
Chapel, there's Chapel.
Chapel is in it. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it's very different. I will say this: maybe we can do the good, bad, and the ugly. The good, I think the effects are amazing. Mm-hmm. Like we were just complaining about the special effects in
season 1 of Next Generation.
No, it's just She-Hulk, right? Or season 1 of Next Gen, right? But the effects here, it's like they know how to make a Star Trek show now. It looks absolutely, It's like the best, to me, the best looking starships since maybe Star Trek the Motion Picture. So, I don't know, maybe there's some haters out there that are not going to agree with me, but I happen to think that on the effects level, I actually really think that they nailed the effects.
Let me ask you, you've seen the first episode, or
only the first episode?
Okay, I've seen the second episode.
Okay, so the only reason I saw the first episode is because it was free on YouTube. And I have not subscribed, right? And I'm watching this, and this is also like I also watched the Orville, and I think the Orville to me, not to tip my hand, I think the Orville is the best Star Trek that's being made right now, is the Orville. But this series, I almost think, if this, I just have to say it. If this show wasn't the Enterprise and it was just like a new crew, I almost think I'd kind of like it. Mm-hmm. But because it's like they've changed Spock. They've changed Spock is like involved with his girlfriend in the show.
He's getting it on with the girlfriend.
T'Pring, which I have to say, the casting of her was great. I mean, she looks like T'Pring in the original series. They really cast well with that. But my understanding is, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, please. This is 8 years before James T. Kirk takes over the Enterprise. Is that correct? That's what I'm told.
It's somewhere. I mean, considering that Uhura's a cadet at this point, or there's got to be some years, and then they spoiled that there's a Kirk coming on board, and it's not the one you think it is. So
no, it's a Kirk. It's like Kirk's brother who ends up getting assigned to. He's on an assignment later.
He's a science officer, basically,
and he ends up dying actually. So, yeah, that's. I mean, that happens
in the series or eventually.
No, it happens in the original series.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying it happens here. So, my thoughts on this. The first episode was sort of a basic like first contact episode, and I kind of like this. I like the format of it in the sense that like we're gonna go to a different planet. Right. Is it first contact? How do we deal with this? It's a civilization that technically speaking isn't ready to join the Federation. And they go down there. The one thing I found a little disturbing was they have to like make them blend in. So I don't know why they just didn't use makeup. So they used some gene therapy to change them. It was a little.
There was a lock they had to open only through their genetic makeup. So that's why they had to.
I guess
it had to be more than just makeup,
right? But I guess it. I feel like they're actually sort of it's an allegory for something else. But I'm not gonna. I don't want to get into it too deeply. But I thought it was an okay episode. One thing I found weird, and I know I'll get criticized for saying it, is there's a lot of women on this show. And I love that like the original Star Trek series was very diverse. And it just seems like shouldn't there be like it be more 50-50? It just didn't seem to get the right balance. It didn't bug me that much, but it was very noticeable. It was noticeable. And I felt like oh, are they just doing that just to like annoy people? I don't know. I just felt it was just
I mean, if you look at the top banner here, they kind of somewhat balance it out here. Kirk's character is not on there, so but yeah, the first two episodes it does feel weighted more toward of women than it is men. But I think
you can say it, Alan. You can say it, Alan. I think what you're trying to say is there's too many women on this.
There's too many women on board. Yeah,
too many women.
No, no, I'm not saying that. I am saying that, but. You're looking for that balance. Also, the fact that, we're kind of used to seeing a male-dominated crew. And so, when you see things a little bit different, you're going to notice these things. But ultimately, I think you're going to get used to it if they do things right.
No, it was just sort of noticeable. Like, oh, didn't the original Star Trek have just more male characters? A decent balance. I mean, there's so many great female characters.
The original Star Trek, it was a battle just to get Spock and Uhura on the show, and Sulu,
right?
So we've come a long way since then.
Well, I will say this: it's fine, but I just don't know where it's going. I feel like literally, if I just saw this episode and they called it Strange New Worlds and it was a different ship, I think, oh wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I guess the thing that's ruining it, and this could be a problem with me. I'm calling myself out. The problem is my familiarity with the Enterprise, its crew. No, sorry. I was quoting Star Trek: The Motion Picture. But I feel like maybe this just should have been some other crew. Fine. But I feel like what they've done is they've done the safe thing, which is, okay, we'll just give you characters we know you like. And this is clearly a different universe. It's a different timeline is what this is. And what I did find interesting is that Captain Pike kind of foresees like what he thinks is his death. And we know what happens if you watch the original series. If you watch the original series, I mean, you know what happens, right? He's injured. He's in this sort of encased in this device where he can really just say, yes or no. But I will say this, the one thing I do like about the show, I don't think it's completely dismissible, is that it seems to not take itself as seriously. It seems to, they seem to be consciously saying, let's have this just be fun and not so dark.
Well,
what were your thoughts?
You're bringing up what I like about the series so far, is that it's a return back to the original series and the next generation. They're going out to new worlds. They're telling, tales of humanity, tales of, science fiction tales, true science fiction tales.
Right.
And they're doing it episode by episode. So in the first episode, there's this adventure. Second episode, brand new adventure. They bring, I think what they do in the second episode that they didn't do in the original is they gave Uhura, a prominent place in that episode. This is her episode.
Right.
And so that's what I like about it. It's like, finally they've gotten rid of the Deep Space Nine, the Voyager, all these side missions, and just brought us back to what we liked originally about Star Trek. And I want to believe that was intentional, that finally someone in the Star Trek universe said, look, let's just go back to what we're good at and let's do that. And I think, like the Star Treks, they're going to have a rough first season. They're going to try to find their footing. I wouldn't say things, I would say things are a little rough around the edges, but I think they're going to get there. I will say this, there was that political moment in the first episode.
I know the scene you're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow.
Why did they do it? The one thing is they did avoid in the way that they talked about it. So Captain Pike is talking to the people on this new world about like the past history of Earth, and they kind of use a January 6th footage to say, we had a civil war. What was it? He describes it as
the second Civil War. It was
a battle for freedom. Or the battle for freedom and a civil war.
Yeah, they brought up January 6th. They brought up the Georgia voting bill.
It was just like, guys, like the original Star Trek series was so much better at dealing with politics because it dealt with it in a way that wasn't so on the nose. It was, and also what I love about the original series, which I don't think they haven't figured out how to do this, is people in the future, they're just more evolved about the ways of thinking about things, right?
Yeah.
So, but I also, I do want to give, because I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic. I almost want to give it a chance. I didn't see the second episode, and I don't think I'm going to subscribe to Paramount Plus. I might subscribe to Paramount Plus only to see the 4K Star Trek the Motion Picture. I might do it just for that.
Yeah.
But, and then also, this is someone brought up in the chat. We'll get to your chat comments in just a moment. And by the way, there are over 300 people watching right now. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you don't already subscribe, and thank you for your support. Like I say, if this wasn't the Enterprise, I think I could have enjoyed it. If this was, science fiction series, right? Like, I almost could have enjoyed it. But I feel like because it's just going to make me in my head pick it apart and just say, well, that's not, Uhura, and the actress who plays Uhura, I looked her, she's sexy in real life, and Uhura was super sexy on the show. What's up with the hair? Like, this is a real nitpick. The haircuts on the show are like, I don't like them. They're like modern.
Like the woman in the middle. I forget her character name, but it's like, wow, that's not the most attractive haircut I've seen.
Yeah, it's not flattering to the actress either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, can they just,
I mean, she has more to do in the second episode, and she comes off as likable. It's just, the haircut. The thing is, I'm glad it's the Enterprise. I'm just glad, honestly, I said it before. What I like about the series is it's going back to the origins of Star Trek,
right?
Going back to this original storytelling of Star Trek. So I'm fine with the Enterprise. They could have, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And I think it's, to me so far, I'm willing to invest a few more episodes and see where this goes.
Yeah. I don't know if this guy's trolling me here. Let's get to your questions. Chris has balls to talk about haircuts.
Yeah,
that's true. My hair, which does whatever.
Well, and some of the videos, old videos we've seen, also indicate you don't care too much about haircuts.
Yes, well, my hair, whatever. I'm just saying, like, what I really liked, actually, to point out some positives about the Star Trek J.J. Abrams 2009, which is an enjoyable, fun film. Then it just got dumb. Those other two, it's one entertaining movie and then two dumb follow-ups. But what I liked was they made the haircuts accurate. Like Spock's hair looks like Spock's hair, and Kirk has that pointy, it's like pointy sideburns. I love that. I love the pointy sideburns.
You know, I like the first Star Trek, the JJ Star Trek.
The 2009 one is like, that's fun. Yeah.
It's bold, it was bold storytelling. What they did with the split timelines was, you know, it was amazing. And then Spock, they used Spock in the right way. And then, yeah, you're right. The two following movies of,
they should have had Shatner in it. Should have been Shatner. Yaphet Kotto's hair. This is Rob Altus. Tree Rock Creation, Star Trek The Next Generation, women characters were written poor. For example, Troy says, I sense that he is sad about something. Yeah. Her character was really dumb. It was just like, I'm sensing he's angry. It's like, she was just like always pointing out the obvious. Are women on the Star Trek Strange New Worlds written well? It depends on how you define written well.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say. The female characters are just written to be men, basically. They're kind of tough guys. And I'm not saying that's a terrible thing. Again, I've seen the one episode and I'm not going to completely dismiss it. Kevin Rubio.
The way they wrote Chapel, I have problems with Chapel, Nurse Chapel.
But I like that new doctor, the doctor, because he was in Dune. He was in Dune. He played Jameis in Dune. What's it? Dr. Mumbai, or is that his name? Dr. Mumbai. Just above your head, Alan. Chris, I'll give you my Paramount Plus pass. Kevin, I accept. I'll reach out to you after this. Thanks for your comment. Eric Jimenez.
Pike was in Doctor Strange. He was Black Bolt. So
yeah. Eric Jimenez, how can there be a second Civil War when the Third World War had already happened in the 90s with Khan? Or is the eugenics war decanonized? They weren't very specific. It was this sort of broadly, they showed footage and then just made this connection of, you know, they tried to draw that connection. I think it was terrible choice.
Well, as you know, that the people who stormed the Capitol on January 6th, they got access to nuclear weapons and then began.
Right.
Yeah.
And Kevin Rubio says, you know what's different about this? Parentheses, Pike foreshadowing death excluded. It presents a hopeful future. Yeah, that's what I like about this.
Absolutely.
It's the one thing I like Star Trek Discovery. I just could not get into it. It just was like Picard. I've been watching, I have not watched Picard. I've watched all of the Red Letter Media episodes talking about Picard, and oh boy, it looks awful. But Ken Rubio says it presents a hopeful future.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like, that's what Star Trek was. It's hopeful. It's let's try to solve these problems. We're going to encounter, adversity, and there's going to be, I mean, if this is true to whatever timeline, some of these characters are not going to make it. Maybe they get assigned on other ships, stuff happens, but we know Pike's fate. And if they stick true to that, foreshadowing of it.
I mean, I will say the opening of the first episode of the series, I was getting nervous because we're presenting Pike as this kind of damaged captain. And I'm like, oh, are we going to get a captain that's going to be moping around all the time, worried about, what his next meltdown, so to speak.
JC says, I was just watching some OG Trek. We call it the original series. It's described as TOS. If you put it, TOS is the correct way. Sorry about that. They had LCD panels very clearly throughout. It looked perfect. LCD. Oh, you might be talking about The Next Generation. I don't know which one you're talking about. In the original series of Star Trek, they had dials. I mean, they literally had no one will remember. They had like dials that move. Anyways, Placid Phoenix says, so there is a Third World War and Stacey Abrams becomes God Emperor. Different universe. That's Dune. She would have to be, forget it. That's a Flaccid Phoenix. Thank you for your deep cut there. Derek Douglas is back and says TNG started out communist.
It kind of did. Like, you know, I will say communism works if you have unlimited resources, and the replicators being able to create food out of nothing.
Yeah,
that's, you know, okay. We can get into that conversation another time.
Exactly. Patrick Lemire says instead of showing Antifa and BLM burning cities, yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know. You know what I would just like? I would like present day politics kind of taken out of it, and if they're going to do anything, they'll discuss broadly these issues in some sort of metaphorical sense, and then what you do is you don't tell the audience how to think. This is sort of this is why a lot of this entertainment is being rejected, is because it's telling you how to think rather than presenting this and allowing the viewer to come to their own conclusion. Fat Elvis says Khan. Yeah, isn't the security officer like related to Khan, right?
Is he?
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Rob Altus says, and the insert current day politics, no thanks. It's just that one thing. It wasn't like I'd heard about
it's like the Batman moment. It was just one thing.
It is. It's like this one moment where you're like, can I just watch something entertaining and not be confronted with something right out of the news? I don't want it. Yeah, no thanks. Ferengi rule of acquisition number 149, females and finances don't mix. Experts agree. I'm just reading the chat.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, we have a super chat.
Geek Truth 64. We call it New Trek because it isn't Star Trek. New Trek like New Coke. Thank you, Geek Truth 64.
All right, and then
another super chat from Colt Seaman for $10.
Here's some old ones that we haven't gotten to.
It looks like the most accurate depictions of our favorite IPs is not from the mainstream, but by our friends, the fans who make fan films and adult parodies. Cheers and hail. Getting all this love in the chat. Okay. You're going to contact me. I have to chat with.
Then,
Derek Douglas for $5 says, have you watched Babylon 5, Chris and Alan? It's really good. I haven't. And I know Gary at Nerdrotics is watching it now. So there you go.
I hear good things about it. My brother was way into Babylon 5.
Yeah, Shelby AC, you did not miss the Bob Burgers preview. We're going to talk about it at the end of the stream because people were demanding we talk about Strange New World. Ryan Landis, people liked Pike so much from STD that they ran with it. Yeah, I mean, Pike just really was, I watched the trailers. I watched stuff. I was not a subscriber, but Pike just seemed to kind of nail. He came up with a take on that character that worked. So yeah, that's interesting. The Film Philosopher, I'll check out the Orville again. Just makes me think of popcorn. You and me both. Zeo Reimer says prequels suck. There's lots of color here, but the OG Star Trek was mostly white. Where'd they all go? So do they do jazz hands and say multiverse? Yeah, I don't know. When you say white, you're talking about the characters. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know on that. It seems. I just seen that there was this that first episode was like, wow, there's a lot of female representation, and that's good. It just seemed a little.
It was enough to notice it. I think
it was enough to notice it. Where I'm just like, come on, you could at least thrown in a red shirt and killed him off. That would have been great. For $5, Daniel says, I don't know if I got to this one. The mental illness haircut immediately takes me out of the show. She might as well wear a t-shirt with current day political slogans. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's very much a social justice warrior type of hair that you see, or type of, so Daniel for $5, thank you for that. But yeah, it does kind of I feel like they should just try to not that they ignore present day, but there are smarter ways of, talking about ideas where you don't have to, immediately identify where you stand politically. But I think we know exactly where everyone who works on the show stands politically. And I think I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like anything that promotes divisiveness or takes a group of people and makes them bad. That I just don't. Yeah.
It did take the original took on feminism. It took on racial equality. so there was a level of politics going on at that time.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
it wasn't divisive. It was meant to show, what the future would be like when
Right.
we're all not on each other's necks.
Kevin Rubio back with more comments here. The production design, VFX, and actors have always been top notch with all incarnations of new Trek. It's this. Okay, so he's talking about all the new Trek that's being done by Paramount from Star Trek Discovery on. It's the stories and adherence to the ideology / themes that Gene created that have been lacking. 100% agree. There is a certain Star Trek virtuousness that seems to just not be there. It's just not. And I think a lot of that was Shatner and the way he delivered those lines, and Spock was Spock is way too emotional in this. And I'm like, okay, it's a prequel. I guess, does he get there? But that was sort of the thing that made that trio, McCoy, Kirk, and Spock, so endearing, is they each had these attributes that complemented each other. And also, I don't know, that dynamic worked. And I don't know what the dynamic is here. I don't know.
I think that's why you got to give it a little bit of time to see, does this crew gel?
Right.
Together?
I mean, there's so many new characters. I'm like, well, who is at least you knew Kirk, Spock, and McCoy, they're the lead characters. Then it was the side characters who were all very likable as well. And they'd get their featured episode or whatnot. And that was great. But I feel like with this is they introduced a ton of characters, and other than Captain Pike, I don't know who I'm supposed to who are the main, there's a lot of characters. And I know Star Trek's always been an ensemble, but it's an ensemble with sort of, you've got your primary characters, the trio, right? And then you've got sort of your B-side characters. Or what did William Shatner, in a derisive way, he called them what, seven dwarves or something? He said something kind of mean about the other. Oh yeah, the seven dwarves, yeah, whatever. And spouting facts, Flask Phoenix confirmed Alan hates women in power. So, and Thumper says it seems like people's reactions are split by politics. That's fine by me. Yeah, that's
No, I mean, Star Trek has always hit on political issues and made you want to think. And I would think it was leaning left most of the time, but at least in the old days, it was, they were challenging issues, and they challenged what you thought.
It brought up issues, discussed them, and didn't necessarily tell you exactly how to think. And the people in the Star Trek original series weren't necessarily, I mean, it was very, it was progressive to a point. Let's just say it.
Well, Frank Gorshin and the, half black, half white face.
That's the one people always bring up. And that's probably a better way to discuss those kind of issues. So rather than just pointing a finger at our current day politics, Kevin Rubio, the larger percentage of women struck at me too. And then I thought it never seems odd when it's the other way on almost every other show. Maybe it's a good thing to normalize it. Yeah, it didn't. I just noticed it. I'm not going to say it necessarily bothered me, but it was just like, oh, this is noticeable. So there you go. B5 is amazing. JMS wants to redo it. And I hope he can't, because so much of what made it great can't or won't be recreated. Derek Douglas, Deep Space Nine was good after season 4.
Yeah, once the Dominion storyline came in, that's when I really started getting on board with DS9.
Rob Altus says, I love TOS. Agree with you, Chris. Somebody knows what they're talking about here. Ryan Landis, TOS and TNG are my favorites. DS9 is great too. Ryan Landis, agree. I think those two series, it was diminishing returns as kind of it got to the end. And DS9, I have only heard, that's why it's just like, I'm not one to say. I actually really like that first episode of DS9. And then I watched the first season and then just kind of couldn't get into it.
I was on board the entire trip there.
Yeah.
When they brought Worf and then brought in the Dominion, they needed a big story to pursue, and they really did that in the latter half.
Yeah. Lagbait says they lost me at the big stick moment on Strange New Worlds. They show shuttle and teleporting and then bring Enterprise into lower orbit to show off their big stick. I guess, yeah. I mean, I hear you.
It served the story. That's all.
It served the story, so I was okay with it. Solomon Thornton loved DS9 and the original. Voyager has mistakes I missed as a kid, says JC. I met the entire TNG cast in Chicago by accident once, says the film philosopher. Okay, that's a good story. I'll hear a quick story. I was my neighbor when I lived off Melrose Avenue. This is in the 90s. Lived off Melrose Avenue, and my neighbor was Michelle Forbes' sister, and Michelle Forbes was always going over there, and Michelle Forbes would play with my daughter when she was young.
Oh.
True story. Michelle Forbes, of course, played Ensign Ro in Star Trek: The Next Generation. My understanding was they were kind of getting her ready to be on DS9 because she was such a popular character, and she didn't want to get typecast. Hail, Chris and Alan. Love your channel and your appearances on other channels. Thank you, Rob Altus. Douglas Nelson for $5 says, will Strange New Worlds ever let Pike be the captain or just the chef? Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Douglas. It's I don't know. I think, look, I only saw one episode. I was struck by one, the VFX are, and this is in contrast because I watched that first episode and then I watched the trailer for She-Hulk and it was just like, oh, but we'll see. I wonder if they're going to include an arc where he gets disfigured, like, are they going to include his story arc from the original series, or are they just teasing that and it will never go there? But the one thing that, having seen this as compared to everything else I've seen about the new Trek, is at least the tone is a little better here. Now, if it was more accurate to Star Trek, because this is the thing is, with the exception of the original series, which I think was out of the gate was great, at least for me, right? And Next Generation took a couple seasons. It was very different than
third season, I would say.
By third season of Star Trek: The Next Generation, it's like, oh, they found their sea legs. Like, the writing is really good. Like, the characters are now endearing and they've kind of come into their own. So Liam in Wales, bad VFX can be solved with practical effects. Just touch up practical effects and it looks amazing. Yep, there you go. Film philosopher, I heard that Hanks did tons of drugs to prep for the role. He's talking about Elvis. Excuse me.
Colonel Parker, yeah.
Colonel Parker it's Tom Hanks in a fat suit, please. And there's an interesting Omar 94. I mentioned this before. Robert Meyer Burnett had a great comment about this. The show starts out space, the final frontier, and that's what Anson Mount as Captain Pike says at the beginning of the show, right? And what Rob Burnett pointed out is he thought that is what Captain Kirk said when he took over the Enterprise. That was like his first journal log, right? Was that statement, was space, the final frontier, these are the voyages. Like, he's starting off his journal and log as he takes over as captain. And that was Kirk. And then as a tribute to the original Enterprise, when Captain Picard became the captain of the new Starship Enterprise, as a tribute to Captain Kirk, he kicked off his captain's log with what Captain Kirk said. I'm basically restating what Robert Meyer Burnett said. And so to have Captain Pike say it, it's not what Captain Pike would say. It's something Captain Kirk said. So that was in Rob Burnett's imagination what happened. But I'm really curious to see where this goes. I'm probably not going to, unless Kevin Rubio's actually going to give me his login, I'm not going to be watching this. I'm going to wait to see what other people say. But, the first episode didn't completely turn me off from it. It did not completely turn me off, with the exception of like these things I just sort of groan. And do they not get this feedback and say, hey, people don't want like modern politics kind of like shoved into shows that should kind of take us out of that? What are your thoughts, Alan?
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but there's, politically speaking, there's an acceptable bad guy. For 4 years it was Trump. You could say whatever you want. Trump's the bad guy, and we're just getting to that point again where we're dividing people, we're name calling. When the whole point of Star Trek was to bring people together. The whole point of Picard was he had a team of diverse opinions. He heard their opinions, and then he made his decision. And this is the state of politics today. When I'm right, you're evil, basically. And I'm hoping that's not I'm hoping that Strange New Worlds goes back to the right direction when it comes to opinions and a diversity of opinions.
Yeah, I want to get to some of these comments here. Some really good comments.
Is it woke?
Okay, yes, it is, but it's like, is it? I mean, it definitely has aspects of it. Is it lecturing? It almost did it. It almost. I feel like they were holding back. The writers were holding back.
Yeah, someone had a comment here, but the reality is it's always been woke. Star Trek has always been woke. It takes a position that the world could be a better place, if we got together, if all the races got together, it took on women's issues, it did everything. And so even Star Trek, The Next Generation, took on LGBT.
Let me get to these comments. Kevin Rubio points out Star Trek has always been woke. Yep. I agree. It's always been progressive. It's always like, this is how we treat each other in the future. Mm-hmm. But, and Kevin, I agree with you. And someone has a comment here. I want to go through some really good comments from people here. Bethel Games says, the problem is not modern politics. The problem is degenerate politics for the nations, families, and people as a whole. Sean Wickett, the problem with focusing on diversity is the loss of unity, and that's the real magic of the original series. I agree with it. Mm-hmm. They focused too much on it, whereas what was cool about the original series is they never even talked about it. They never discussed it. It just was just sort of like, that's it. And the one, everyone talks about the first interracial kiss was in the original Star Trek series. And it was between Captain Kirk and Uhura, but they were being forced to kiss because these aliens were there were tools of these
telekinetics,
mental abilities, and they forced them to kiss, right? Makadama says, my issue with Star Trek is that it always comes off like the moral authority. I wish they encountered a real threat, an expanding Roman Empire that is expanding into Federation territory. Yeah, I think you mean Romulan Empire. But yeah, that would be interesting. Joseph Norte says, in TOS, diversity was part of the world building. In New Trek, it's a story point. That hits it on the head. The original series, diversity was just existed. It just was there. And it wasn't pointed out. And this is what bugs me about all this, a lot of the woke stuff, is they want to tell you that it's woke. Not only is it woke, but it's like they point to it. Mm-hmm. And to me, that is just, it's like, stop. Yeah, it doesn't need to be a story point. In Flaccid Phoenix, why does Chris hate fat suits? Because overweight actors get put out of work. They need to work too.
I know, like Fat Bastard, they could have found someone who...
Right. Rob Altis says, I'm sorry, but the bridge set on the show is just too bright. LEDs everywhere. It's so distracting, like a casino. And the film philosopher, Chris started his career as a fat suit stuntman. Not true. Just to let you know that. And the film, Chris watches shows secondhand via Red Letter Media. Now, what I do is we'll see, first of all, because Red Letter Media I know is going to be entertaining. But that's not a guarantee of, say, an episode of Picard. And that last thing where they did the finale is so funny. Those guys have just completely checked out. It's hilarious. Film philosopher, get on board with me here. I will wait until the whole season is available. JC, I may do the same thing unless Kevin Rubio is his word on sharing his password. I will wait till the whole season is available. Yeah, I would like that. I mean, Orville I binged and I really enjoyed the Orville. I mean, the Orville, you know, I don't know if you saw the episode with Chaloja. There was an episode about porn addiction. I mean, what's interesting is that the Orville has dealt with social issues also, but in ways that were funny and entertaining and organic to the characters. So yeah, so I like that, and I feel like Star Trek used to be capable of that. Now it's way too on the nose. Way too on the nose. Wait, no, I gotta.
Okay, we had a super chat. That's what I'm.
Oh, okay, we'll get to it.
Okay.
Seeing the ads for Strange New World has me so excited for Star Trek, but I know it's done by all the people I don't like making Star Trek, and this doesn't quite land. But I'm still hopeful that it can be real Trek. Well, the only reason I saw it is because they ran it on YouTube for like 24 hours. I wonder if it's still there. If you go to the Paramount channel and just look if Strange New Worlds is there, but they put out the first episode for free. They should have put out the second. Let me get through these chats, and I want to hear about the second.
I saw Eugene Roddenberry was listed as one of the producers. I don't know what kind of influence he has, or if he has any influence.
Womp Biscuits. This show being too political. Remember in TOS the incredibly controversial Kirk Uhura kiss? We talked about it. Lots of hate mail was sent. The Confederate South erupted in rage. That also was true with the film industry as well. Certain movies could not open in the South.
Yeah.
But you know,
we're on the heels of the civil rights.
The thing is this, nobody cares anymore. I mean, like, will there always be ignorant people? Yes. Does that represent the majority of people? No, it does not. Anyways, experts agree. Another relevant Ferengi rule of acquisition number 213. Are you looking these up online? Stay neutral in conflict so that you can sell supplies to both sides. There you go. Ferengis know what's up. Ryan Landis. I don't like seeing Starfleet officers cry and hug every episode like they do on Star Trek Discovery. Yeah, that was the one thing they'd shown. It's just like, it's just overly emotional. I mean, that was the thing. Like that's, like Spock, of course, had his emotions in check, and Kirk was a leader. I mean, he was a man of action and a leader, and he didn't take any guff. Mm-hmm. And I loved William Shatner as Captain Kirk. I
feel like if Strange New World goes woke, it'll be because Pike marginalizes one of his officers.
If they start doing like stuff like that, that's just annoying. Like,
and then we need a non-binary character. I think that'll kind of
just have them go and have adventures, and you can deal with the politics on that particular world, and it might have some veiled connection to discussions we're having. That's okay. It's fine. Luffy is God. Do you two gentlemen know about the script for a Khan movie? Planet Khan. I call it because it's the same story almost as Planet Hulk. Seriously. Wait, really? I haven't heard of that. I knew that there was. My understanding was that there was a Khan series. Robert Burnett talked about it. There was a Khan series that was in development. That it's of course unmade, but there you go. Spock in Strange New World is closer to the cage than TOS. He was way more emotional in there than TOS, says Grace D. Yeah, and I guess the one way to be able to, well, this is 8 years before Kirk. He'll get there, but I do think they need to make him just sort of maybe more emotionless.
Well, although the question is do they realize that? And B, are they going to create a series of stories that will make him less and less emotional?
Although I did like his T'Pring date query. It was funny. I thought that was funny. Like, I was okay with that. So
I know she had to propose. Is that a thing in Vulcan?
I don't know. That to me was another thing that just sort of made me kind of go, oh, okay. Samuel Christie, DS9 is the most consistent story-wise of the Star Treks, and the immovable station forced them to focus on character more than situation of the week. Still love TNG better. Samuel Christie, I've heard that over and over again. Right.
I also like how they dealt with religion in that one.
Yeah, it's interesting. I want to see it with now. Is it out on? Is it in
It's on
not in
Paramount
store.
Plus.
It's on Paramount Plus, but is it in HD at least? Because I went to watch it. I went to watch it when it was on Netflix, and DS9 was like, it was like standard def, and I couldn't get through it. I was just like, I can't watch this. TT says, when DS9 started going into religion in the last season, they lost me. Alan says he likes that, TT. So there you go. Hey, Paulie's here. Latino Slant. Star Wars vote update. 79% to go to Star Wars Celebration. Paulie, you're going with me. Paulie, I will meet you on Friday. If you want to meet me earlier, I can just give you the badge. So
yeah. You're not going Thursday?
I have an extra badge. I don't think I'm going to get there on Thursday. Bethel Game says
the only tickets left are on Thursday.
Oh yeah, I have a 4-day. I have 2 4-day badges. Yeah. Bethel Games. It's going to be the last time I go to a Star Wars celebration. This is I bought these tickets before the Rise of Skywalker came out. And I'm just like, Rise of Skywalker. This is me when it comes to like entertainment. I am like the hopeful, optimistic Luke Skywalker. Like, I hope it's good. And then Rise of Skywalker came out. I'm like, this could tie it all up. It could be the best Star Wars movie ever. And it's the end of 9 movies. Like, and it was just, all fans were united in disliking that movie.
I think Obi-Wan is going to turn everything around.
No, I think it's going to be terrible. I think it's if the leaks are true, I think the Kenobi show is going to be awful. It's going to be awful. Bethel Games, Alan, it was leaning humanist, not left and not communist.
Yeah.
Script Doctor is here. Hey, Script Doctor. Hey, Chris and Alan. Strange New World swings for the fences without knowing what sport they're playing. Yeah, I just saw the first episode. I wasn't turned off or I'm like, I'll never watch it again. I'm just like, well, let's get into it. Alan, you saw the second episode.
Yeah, I mean,
what are your thoughts on the second episode?
Second episode, it's a second Star Trek episode, very much in line with Next Generation and the old series. It takes a different story. It takes us to a new planet.
What's the story? Can you tell a little bit?
This asteroid is about to crash into one of the Federation planets. The Enterprise is there to destroy the asteroid, but the asteroid won't let itself be destroyed. In fact, there's something maybe religious behind it. And Uhura and Spock and another person are the away team. This is her first time as an away team member. And her skills as a linguist and is put to the test here, and it just plays out like an episode of Star Trek. It's a one and done, and again, that's partly why I like it so far.
Well, okay, that second episode sounds pretty good. It sounds like, how are the characters used?
Much better. I mean, you get to know more of the crew better. Like a lot of the crew in the first episode that said nothing, in this one they actually have parts and you actually get to know them a little bit. I would say the way they solve the problem is, it's pretty typical, maybe overly emotional, maybe a little bit cringy Star Trek, but that's happened in the Next Generation a lot, and so it kind of falls in line there.
Well, first of all, just a reminder that if we talk about movies, you should open a drink. You should definitely.
We're talking about TV series.
We're talking about TV series. It's entertainment.
Yeah, I got to pull up the super chat because it's been.
Oh, great! Yeah, let's get to the super chats. Yeah. My apologies, and we got more comments here. And I don't know, we may have to save Bob's Burgers. I'll give you a preview, not a full review.
Yeah, but I take this. It's not always been woke. It was liberal. Modern woke is philosophically socialist Marxist, though the distinction is not always clear. You're absolutely right. I use woke to say liberal, but I wanted to make the point that it was challenging a lot of the thoughts of the zeitgeist at that time.
Do we have more super chats here? We're gonna get.
No, that's it so far.
Okay, that's it for now. Okay, cool. Let's get to more. We've got some more. If you could go through and star some of these chats, we like to talk to everybody here. What did I miss? I missed Patrick Lemire. Star Trek was always. We got past the bad times. Yeah, but it didn't lecture. It it really did it. A lot of it was like obviously the episode with Frank Gorshin with that was dealt with racism in a roundabout way, and then
in a clever way.
Yeah, and it really in a clever way that was like. And what's so weird is we've never seen those aliens ever. Have those aliens appeared in anything else, like an episode of TNG or anything? Their civilization maybe didn't make it. And Ferd Turgeson pointing out, dropping truth bombs. Alan is a commie, even has a red shirt on, which means Alan. Well, we'll see what happens at our award show this weekend.
I'm in blue.
You're gonna be wearing blue.
Yeah,
right, there you go. Cool. Let's see.
Let's see.
Jeff Brooks says, I love that the original Star Wars uses a T-bar from the television switcher for the Death Star laser. Oh, that's so funny. Let's see. The film philosopher, all the red shirts in The Next Generation were communist giveaways. Well, there you go. Film philosopher is doing like stand-up in our chat here with these jokes. JC, DS9 crossed the finish line for me in terms of achieving the potential of a Trek universe. Yeah, I've heard everybody. Look, I know. I need to watch it. And Daniel says Star Trek Discovery and Picard are anti-Trek. I've heard that. I've heard that from a number of people who I respect and who I've watched. For example, Robert Meyer Burnett, among others. But Strange New Worlds is the first time I've been like interested in checking out a Star Trek show. Now,
yeah, no, I'm definitely in for a few more episodes.
Luffy is God. Only good thing about Next Gen Trek is episodes written by Mark Zigri. Measure of a Man. Oh, that one always comes up. Measure of a Man, among others, I think. Yeah. But also, a lot of the better episodes of Next Generation came later in the, like after a couple seasons, right? Like I think it was it the cliffhanger at the end of episode of season 2 where like they realized there may be some these aliens that are kind of taking over parts of the Federation.
Yeah.
Was it the final? And then they got great at doing these things where they'd have like a cliffhanger episode that would then you got to wait till next season to get the resolution. I mean, the Borg one is probably the most famous one.
Well, also season 2 is the Not Crusher episodes.
Right. Well, I'm getting chills thinking about it because that Borg, I mean, when they introduced the Borg and Picard is part of it, and then it goes and it's just like, and you'll have to wait till next season to see the finale. That was insanely cool. And I hope that they get to do stuff like that.
The other one was when they found Data's head in the
that was another great one. Yeah. Okay. The Alex Zorba says that's not Star Trek. They have no idea how to write Star Trek.
Yeah, they're only 2 episodes in, so we'll see. We have another super chat.
Okay, let's hear it. Mr. Kirk 2019 for $20 says my interracial. You know what? We used to do this every time we got super chats. Should do the 30-second dance party.
30-second dance party.
Should we do this for every super chat? I don't think we should do that.
No,
I think it'll get annoying. I think the chat will rebel against
it. It was annoying weeks ago.
Mr. Kirk 2019 for 20 says TV interracial kisses before Kirk, Uhura, Barbara Luna, and Shatner in Mirror Mirror, Nobu, McCarthy, Lloyd Bridges in Sea Hunt, Robert Culp, France Nguyen in I Spy, and Pilar Surette, 2 white men on Adventures in Paradise. Is that true? Is that true, Mr. Kirk 2019? I feel like I have to research that. Nobu, McCarthy, and Lloyd Bridges in Sea Hunt. I don't know.
Well, wasn't Ricky and Lucy technically interracial kisses?
Yeah, you know what? That documentary about Lucy and Desi is actually on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon Prime. It's directed by Amy Poehler. It's very good. It's really, it's really, really a great documentary. Strongly recommend that. I believe that it was reviewed on our channel here. Let me get to some of these. Derek Douglas, the Borg were great. The only thing I didn't like was the Borg ignoring them all the time. It didn't make sense. Yeah. Hansel Fry, Alan, lol, the Not Crusher episode. Want Biscuits. No one's saying the Kirk Uhura kiss was the first ever. We're saying it was incredibly controversial and could easily be considered woke for back then. Yeah. So there you go. I mean, it was the first ever in history. No, it wasn't. Derek Douglas, Chris is right. Star Trek used to lay out a story and then make you think about it, not jam it down your throat. Yeah, like it just sort of laid out like these are ideas. You come to your own conclusion. And there you go. Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda, not so good, says JC. Yeah, you know what's really good actually is the Star Trek animated series. The Star Trek animated series used unused ideas from the original,
from the canceled series.
Yeah, unused scripts. It had many of the same writers. That episode about young Spock is great. I mean, it's practically, I mean, that's canon, right? That's such a great episode. And I love that they had like the engine. There were different pilots. There was like the red guy who had like the weird neck. And I know that there's a fan film where they actually recreated that. And then there's like a cat alien that's on the bridge. That was from the animated show. Geek Truth 64 was talking to Liam in Wales. I wish they would restore it. Been waiting on it ever since TOS and TNG restorations. Yeah, that you're talking about the Deep Space Nine restoration. Yeah, there needs to be. I started watching it on Netflix on my TV. This is when it was on Netflix, and it looked bad. It just did not look great. Macadama says, my friends, Chris and Alan, what do you think is wrong with today's sci-fi storytelling?
Well, I think it was mentioned it got off the humanism. You know, I think I'm echoing in your background.
Oh, you are. Does anyone else hear the echo? Let us.
I mean, know. I hear it from you. But...
Oh, you do?
Hold on, maybe it's me.
Okay. Should I
let's see.
Turn down my volume here?
Is it you?
Should I turn it down?
I wonder if it's me.
There's a setting called echo cancellation. This is a boomer moment. Yeah. Womp Biscuit says, yeah, I too won't be watching Kenobi unless my son forces me to, like he did with Moon Knight. Ugh. Well, let's see. You're the parent. You could tell your son that he can't watch it. You cannot watch Kenobi. You're disallowed from watching it. I just think it's going to ruin. I just think that series has the potential to ruin Star Wars. I don't care about Andor or Ahsoka or any of that stuff. It's like, whatever. It's fine. These are, spin-off characters, whatever. But Kenobi, and this all directly connects to events in the original Star Wars trilogy. So I care about it a lot. And I'm just bracing for it. Rob Altus, at this time, they were called Landing Party. Why do they keep saying away team for TOS? I don't know. I don't have an answer to that question. TT, everything Disney makes with Star Wars now leads to the sequel trilogy, and they make new shows with that in mind. Yeah, I don't care. In fact, I saw it trending yesterday, and I couldn't believe it. It was just like, and it was a whole article about the future of Star Wars and how they're just going to leave all that Skywalker stuff behind. It's done. But I feel like the thing people care about is that. Just make a young Luke show. Make a show with Luke after the events in Return of the Jedi. What happened to Luke? That would be interesting. And the film philosopher, how much do we have to super chat to get Alan that haircut? Yeah, it's a haircut. It's you could super chat for supercuts. So there you go. The film, I cannot wait for the new Wesley Crusher series, says the film philosopher. Liam in Wales, I don't know if they can. TNG was on film, so it was easy. DS9 was not on film, so there are no high quality masters to go from. God, I hope they find a way to do it. I mean, even if it's like using software like Peter Jackson has used to do restorations of, old World War I footage. mean, if they can do that, they can do something. They can definitely do something. Hansel Fry, in my opinion, the new actors playing the legacy characters in Star Trek Strange New Worlds don't feel like they are the same characters to me.
I felt that way about Uhura. I can't imagine her ultimately maturing into Nichelle Nichols.
And Nichelle Nichols, man, give it up for her as an actress. Give it up for her. Like, and she tells a great story about she wanted to quit Star Trek. She's like, all I do is sit in the background and I say hailing frequencies, Captain. I don't do a lot. And she did get episodes where she did get to do things, but apparently she had an opportunity to meet Martin Luther King. And Martin Luther King like met her and said, and just, praised her being on the show. It's like, just you being on the show is a big deal. You can't quit, and inspired her to continue to be on Star Trek, the original series. So there you go. Geek Truth 64. They're having a conversation in the chat, but these are interesting remarks. So we're gonna make them part of our discussion. DS9 was shot on film, but it was edited on tape. So in order to be a proper restoration, they'd have to recreate the episodes from the original film. Same thing they did with TNG and TOS. Yeah, that's
they're not doing that for DS9.
They're not going to pay for that. And thank you for dropping by, Dr. Fauci's prison. But the names are getting more creative now. Old Trek was the realization of how a post-scarcity society would solve the differences of humanity. Modern Trek is just current-day leftism being adopted by the entire human race. Yeah, I think it could be that.
Yeah, that's a very big discussion to have.
Yeah, Luffy is God, because I think Shatner deserves at least that. I get he isn't fond of New Trek, but I would hate to see what is going to happen to Tom Baker and Doctor Who. They want to retcon the first 4 Doctors. Yeah. I don't know. I don't watch Doctor Who. I stopped. I'm sorry. Derek Douglas. Yeah. Okay. I think we got to that one. So there you go. Jeff Brooks, is the JJ Star Trek reboot the first multiverse movie? Let me think about that. Have there been? I think there have been other.
I'm sure there have been others.
No, there have been others that used the concept. There was
Bill and Ted.
Bill. Well, that's not multiverse.
That's more time travel. Yeah.
But there was one with Gwyneth Paltrow. It's an indie movie from the early 2000s. Sliding Doors. And what it does is it's a multiverse movie where Gwyneth Paltrow goes home, and in one parallel universe, she makes one decision. And in another decision, she goes and finds her boyfriend cheating on her. Her boyfriend's still cheating on her in this other universe, but she doesn't know it. So what it does is it shows that she made this choice and kind of split. And then what it does, it kind of goes back and forth between the two different versions of her. So that's a multiverse movie. That was early 2000s. I'm sure the concept has been used in other things. I mean, in a way, like I'm sure it's been used in other things. It's not the first one. Hey, Geek True 64, shameless plug. Chris, check out my video, Darker Storytelling in Star Trek, 5 Reasons DS9 Works and New Trek Does Not. Video essay, Geek True 64. I will do that. I will sub to your channel. How about that? There you go.
And super chats are a great way to advertise your next project. So
there you go. There you go. Yeah. We have a $2 super chat from Mr. Buttcrack Media. As RMB says, it starts with good storytelling.
Absolutely.
I agree, for $2. Thank you for that, Mr. Buttcrack Media. I love these creative names that we're getting. And we pretty much talked out Strange New Worlds. Let's get to our chat questions here. MK Solid 82, good to see you back. Chris, will Darth Vader need to track down Kenobi with the Force, or can he just follow the weave? Oh, I see what you meant by that. I don't know. So there you are. I will see. The film philosopher, only Porkins secretly works for the Empire and never really died. Yeah, Derek Douglas, Sliding Doors. That was, Sliding Doors, I think was the name of the Jet Li, the one is a multiverse script doctor. Yeah, what was the name of that movie? I just have to. Yeah, The One. Yeah, it's just called The One. Yep, Jet Li movie was bad, says Derek Douglas. There you go. We're just gonna keep chatting with you. I may have to push off our Bob's Burgers review, like a full review, until Friday. But Friday we've got a full show. Bob's Burgers, we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Men, and we have, if you like this Star Trek discussion, on Friday we have the director of a documentary that's going to be joining us called Science Friction. He's going to be here, and it's a documentary about scientists and how scientists are portrayed in like reality shows and documentaries. Really good doc.
Yeah. And Dr. Oz doesn't come out so well in that one.
Yes, exactly. He comes off like an idiot. So there you go. TT, wouldn't Back to the Future be considered multiverse? He goes to a future to create alternate timelines. Yeah, but is it a multiverse movie? We see the different time. I guess, is it? I always consider Back to the Future more time travel, like, but I mean, that's a good argument. I'd love to have that argument. Alan, what are your thoughts? Is back? I
think it's time travel.
I think it's time travel.
Yeah, because the idea is whatever you affect in the past propagates itself into the future. I think that's the difference between the two.
Dan M, they should have set Strange New Worlds in an alternate timeline, alternate universe, picked a different ship with a new crew, then reset the canon all they wanted. Yeah, Dan, that was my thing, is like, look, if this wasn't the Enterprise, I feel like almost all of my problems would be the problems I have with this would be like, okay, it doesn't bother me as much. But the fact that like, just Uhura, like if she had that hair, that would just be awesome.
Yeah. But to me, these stories, as they're being told, they're always associated with the Enterprise, and that's why I think it has to be the Enterprise.
I guess my problem is that can Star Trek just be sexy too? Can it be sexy? Like, although the T'Pring scene was pretty interesting to see a love scene in there, but that's Kirk's job. Kirk is the one that's
Spock's can get all the action.
Yeah.
Actually, Pike got it on early in the film, or in the series, in the episode.
True. RMFX, I stopped watching all these old franchises while they were good. I don't get wanting to watch new versions of stuff for decades. Respect the old, but move on to new things. Yeah, I mean, that, I kind of feel like they're going like with familiar with, it's the Enterprise. It's some of the characters you love in early incarnations of themselves. And I think that, I think that's the direction they've decided to go. So there you go. Check your phone for Paramount Pass, says Kevin.
Yeah, put your phone
Kevin,
up to the screen just to make sure you got it right.
Unnecessary, Kevin, for the $2, but thank you for that. And I will check my phone. I can't. I'm I'll multitask the best way I can. So there you go. Well, we've gone. It's over 2 hours now. It's over 2 hours. Oh my God. I got to show this. Paulie from Latino Slant sent us this, Alan. So I have to show this to you right now. Wait, where did it go? Where'd it go? I have to show you this. I have to show Alan something that just came in from my buddy Paulie from the Latino Slant. Sent this over for us to look at. Oh,
I was in the chat on the show on Saturday. So.
Were you? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
No, okay. So, you know what? It's not going to look great when I share it, but I'm going to share it anyway.
Are you doing it or?
I'm doing it. Doing it, folks. Oh, that you can't even see it. It's too small.
Oh.
It's too small. Alan, I'll send it to you to tweet out.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Time Bandits was multiverse.
Yes. There you go. Yeah. So, it's ultimate time travel. So there you go. Yeah. This image was made for ants. Says Film Threat sucks. Wait, whose Film Threat sucks?
Hey.
That's great. I don't know who Film Threat Sucks is, but there you go. Yeah, it's a JPEG for ants. I'll send it to hey, Tucker time, Jeff Tucker. I'm gonna see you Saturday at the Award This event. But I gotta get some food. There's over 300 people watching. So there you go. Have I missed the Alan expose video? You did miss it, but we can show it again. Let me get that video up. I'm gonna have to change our banners and branding here. But yeah, I'll show it to you. Here we go. So this is the Alan video for when we oh wait, let me show you. Here's something that'll make you laugh. Yeah. That'll make you laugh. But here's the Alan video. Let me find it and show it to you. I thought it was I think you need to see it. I think you need to see it to believe it. So here you go.
Yep, that was it, right?
Okay, so the story behind that was Alan on his Instagram just likes to take photos of himself, like wherever he's at. He has almost the same expression. So I cut him out, and we were just sort of back and forth. People at Film Threat like putting Alan into different situations, but you don't have to say to that. That's what I have to say about that.
Harkens back to my beard days.
Yeah, no. Well, do we get Alan with a beard? Where do we stand on Alan with a beard or not a beard? What are we doing?
It's getting pretty popular.
All right. Well, look, I'm going to go to just some final chat out here. Chris hasn't peed in 2 hours. Patrick Lemire, that is correct. I gotta run to the restroom. So there you go. Let me get to the starred comments here. Alan's bearding must occur, says Melodic Method. Good to see you back, Melodic Method. Chris, can you get William Shatner on the show? You'd hit 100,000 subs easy, and it would be so awesome. I don't know. We do have some upcoming guests that I think are going to be pretty cool upcoming. And so just stay tuned. Friday's our show. We have the guests on. Thumper, Time Bandits is totally multiverse. Jose Contreras says, anyone a fan of Galaxy Quest? I love that movie. I love Galaxy Quest. It is a great film. Originally, it was supposed to be, Star Trek. It was good based on Star Trek, right? And they were going to play. It was going to be Shatner and Kirk kind of play Shatner and William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, all sort of playing versions of themselves, and they didn't want to do it. So, but there's a great documentary called Never Surrender about the making of Galaxy Quest. You should see that movie. It's probably on Prime Video. Luke Gervais says, thoughts on the She-Hulk trailer? You missed it. We talked about it earlier. We'll spin that off into a separate video, or we're going to leave this live stream up so that you can see it. TT, okay, yes, we actually talked about that. Any others here? Okay, we're going to wrap things up. Wait, we had a $10 super chat come in. Here we go. Let's get to this super chat here. Beard is the way, says Chicago Box. Mr. Kirk 2019 for $10 says, for your research of classic TV interracial kisses, is that a website or a blog? Classic TV interracial kisses. Summer on YouTube. Sea Hunt episode Proof of Guilt 1959. Adventures in Paradise, The Big Surf 1960. I Spy episode The Tiger 1966. Okay, so there you go. Mr. Kirk 2019 dispelling the myth. Star Trek gets a lot of credit for that in 1966, but apparently it's happened before.
Yeah.
So,
and again, I Love Lucy. It had it in every episode. So,
Well, but I love, yes, true. And you should see that documentary it's just called Lucy and Desi, if I remember correctly. And I believe it's on Prime Video, if you have Amazon Prime. And RMFX said, Patrick Stewart needs to rest. I agree. It's like every time I've seen clips from Picard, I feel sad. I feel he's just, he seems just slow.
Well, even in Doctor Strange, you didn't seem to have that pep that
And
we're all
Film
used
Threat
to.
Sucks says Mr. Kirk 2019 exposing Film Threat. Gotta love it. Look, I'm just repeating the oft quoted remark about the first interracial kiss. So there you go. Desilu is responsible for Trek, says Tucker Time. That's true. It's actually part of that documentary. So yeah, there would be no Star Trek if not for Lucille Ball. So yeah, JC says Picard proved he is done with all of that. Yeah. Tucker Time. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Her ongoing mission. Tucker Time is really my friend Jeff Tucker, who's going to be on the show someday. I can't wait for that. Patrick Stewart is playing Patrick Stewart, not Picard. He has said as much. I just feel like every time I look at him, it's like he needs a nap. Like, it just feel like, yeah, Picard was better in Excalibur, says Alarison. So there you go. And the Chicago Box, both Stewart and Biden are still going, but the batteries are low. JC says, are you with us or against us? And can't wait for MCU's X people, says Jeff Brooks. Yeah, and another $5 super chat from Douglas Nelson for $5. Thank you. Great show, gentlemen. I sent the Trek Photoshop image to the Film Threat Twitter account. Good night, all. Good night, Douglas Nelson. And we are going to wrap it up today, even though we have so many people watching. We hope you'll come back. Hope you will come back on Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. We're going to talk about Bob's Burgers. We didn't get to the review. A lot of enthusiasm for talking about Strange New Worlds, so we appreciate that. MK Solid 82 has a quick question. Chris, thoughts on the state of fandom after Shatner passes away? That will be a sad day.
Oh.
I mean, William Shatner, growing up when I watched Star Trek, he was practically my TV dad, right? Like watching that show. So I don't know how I'll feel about that, but I feel he wasn't particularly respected by the new Trek. There was an opportunity in the JJ Trek. He was going to have a cameo and he didn't get to have a cameo. So I don't know. It bums me out. Flaccid Phoenix says, smash that like button. There are 300 people still watching. Smash the like button. We appreciate it. Chicago Box says Deadpool 3 is coming. Well, we'll see. If it's not R-rated, I think it's going to be pretty lame. There you go. There it is. That's awesome. Thank you for that. I am Kirok, says Bad Adam 12. Derek Douglas, is Shatner 2,000 years old yet? No, I believe he's 90. Is that right? He's 90?
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
I do think he is 90 years old. And slap that like button and subscribe.
Oh, wow.
And make sure, when you come to the show, you'll get little morsels like this.
Finish him. Oh, my jeans.
There you go.
He's 91.
91, yeah. So there you go. The Alex Zorba Shatner is a very special dude. I like that he just doesn't care. He doesn't care anymore. So Rob Alta says, thank you for a great stream. Well, we want to thank you, everyone in the chat. 300 people. That's kind of above average for us. So that's great. That shows more and more people are tuning in. We do live streams twice a week on Wednesday nights. Sometimes the time changes depending if Alan and I are catching some movies, but Wednesday evenings, we'll also do kind of emergency shows if we see something really interesting. Next week, we're going to be talking about Star Trek again because I am going to the theater on Monday night. I am going to see the Star Trek The Motion Picture 4K restoration. It's in the theaters, and I'm seeing it at the AMC Burbank.
Yeah, it's
So
a Fathom
AMC
Events
It's a Fathom Events. So if you want to watch Star Trek with me, hey, 7 p.m. show, I think is the show I'm seeing. It's at the AMC Burbank 16. Join me there. I'll be checking it out. We'll be talking about that next week. This Friday, we're talking about the movie Men, Bob's Burgers. My apologies for not getting to that. We will get to that on Friday. Additionally, we're going to talk to the director of the documentary Science Friction, and we're probably going to continue this discussion. And here you go. Turo says, seriously, Chris, I want to buy Film Threat socks. That's right. I forgot. You can buy all this. You can buy, support us, support the channel. Go to shop.filmthreat.com. Pick up a mug, pick up a shirt like this one I'm wearing now. And I'm going to show you, if you stuck around to the end, can I show you something really weird? No Bob's Burgers dislike, says Film Threat sucks. Hey, I'll give you a preview of Bob's Burgers. I really liked it. I have never seen an episode of the television show Bob's Burgers. It's weird. It's not for kids. It's PG-13 and it's very PG-13. I don't mean like gross in like sort of a gross just to be gross, reason. Bob's Burgers is just, it's not for kids, or at least the movie that I saw wasn't. But I got to show you something. I'm gonna put myself a little larger on the screen, Alan, just to be able to show you this. I got this at San Diego Comic-Con a couple years ago, and I think what we're gonna do is, because I'm surrounded with so many weird collectibles and things, I want to start showing off some parts of my collection. So it's an envelope that says "Caution, Nicolas Cage," and in this envelope, when you open it up, it's a color forms set of Nicolas Cage. I'm not making this up. It is literally Nicolas Cage color forms. And you can put him on this background. So I don't know if anyone remembers color forms, but you kind of take them, you sort of take your Nicolas Cage off of here, and then you can kind of put him on. You can take Nicolas Cage and kind of put him in this background. And there he is. So, yes, I own a Nicolas Cage color forms set, which I got at San Diego Comic-Con. Pretty weird. And there you go. MK Solid 82 says, Chris, you're a good guy. Thank you for that. Expert Degree says, what? You've never seen Bob's Burgers? I haven't. Never seen the show, but I saw the movie and I quite liked it. So we're going to wrap this up, Alan. Alan, what are we plugging before we go?
My pal Al on Twitter. Instagram is Film Thread Alan. And I finally got my Truth Social account activated. That's my pal Al as well.
Oh, well, there you go. You're on Truth Social?
Yeah, it's weird. All these Republicans are now following me, and I don't know how to feel about that.
All right. And Jeff Brooks' Draft House is doing a special 1978 Superman screening. I'm so excited to see it on the big screen. Yeah, that I would do that. I like how the Cage color form is in the jungle like Indiana Jones. Bob's Burgers episode on Archer. There you go. Alan isn't a communist. He's GOP, says the film philosopher.
I'm somewhere in the middle of those.
Yeah, there you go. And have a wonderful night, everybody, says Hansel Fry. Thank you. Last thing I'm going to plug is our show, Award This. Award This is this weekend. If you can make it out, you can join Alan and I. Go to awardthis.com, or you can look it up. You can follow. It's Award This on everything. It is an indie film award show for independent film. And my friend Jeff Tucker is going to be there. A lot of people are going to be there. Come to the show. It's really just an excuse for us to drink and hang out with indie filmmakers. Everybody gets a gift bag. It's a fundraiser for the Frida Cinema in Santa Ana, California, which is the only independent film theater in Orange County. It plays movies there. We're going to be doing some other screening events there. So please check it out and join Alan and I there. And if you miss it, we will be shooting it so you can see it on YouTube. So you'll be able to see Award This on YouTube. And Alan, what else?
That's it.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, you know what, Alan, what do we like to say at the end of the show?
Let's get out of here.
Thank you, everybody.